Andy Burgess looking for the drive down the short side. Gregory to Young.
From the Wigan bench, Ray, Martin Dermott is struggling. He's limping in this match. They're going to have to make a change. Mick Cassidy will be joining the action now.
Yeah, have a look at this in the replay there. I think he falls back. He's only holding him there. He doesn't actually push him. I think oh, yes, he does. Kelvin Skerritt pushed him down. It was a penalty.
The directive from the Rugby League 2 or 3 weeks ago for sharpening up by referees at the play of the ball, certainly having its effect here this afternoon in the penalties around that area. O'Connor. Salford seeking to get back on level terms with Wigan in the Wigan 20-metre area. Andy Gregory again, the short pass inside to Burgess. Burgess racing through, he's got Gary Jack going for the line! He scored! Gary Jack! Mr. Smith, firm in his decision, and Gary Jack, the Salford player coach, swept through there. Good forward play again, and Wigan have pegged back again.
Here on the replay, Ray, you'll see this. They'll attack out wide. Andy Gregory will have Andy Burgess coming inside there. He's had a great game, Andy Burgess. Stands, looks there. Bob Marsden backing up and scores under the post. A great try. Bob Marsden is a good sub to have. A strong player.
Well, it's Andy Gregory drives in to Burgess, and it's Bob Marsden going the speed. I thought it was Gary Jack, but no, it's Bob Marsden. And there is the kick from Steve Blakely. And would you believe it, Salford are back on level terms. 7 minutes in the second half, 12 apiece. And Bob Marsden, the man who confused me with the pace of this man at second row, former Rochdale Hornets. Gregory is the architect. He launches Burgess at the heart of the Wigan attack, and Bob Marsden roars in here, pulls off Andy Platt, and just gets the ball down on the line. And here is Gary Jack, not as big as Bob. And Salford well on top here now in this second half, really taking the game to Wigan. Steve Blakely. The fifth tackle, John Doherty, sending instructions down to the bench, no doubt. Looking to tighten up this Wigan defence. Jason Robinson. A big effort needed now from one of these Wigan international stars. They're quite capable of suddenly snatching another try. Andy Platt. Farrell. But this tackling's really effective from Salford, Steve, isn't it?
They've got a bit of confidence here, Salford. The defence has been super. They keep moving up, and Wigan seem to be a little bit of 6 and 7s at the moment. They're getting bustled a little bit by Salford.
Chris Towrell, the Salford forward, taking a break. Chris, this looks a more confident performance from Salford now.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the last sort of 8 weeks we've been building and building and building, and we've got better week by week. We've done our homework on Wigan, and so far it's paying off, and all the boys are playing for each other, and the team spirit's high. It's great, and that's the main thing, and that's what's getting us through at the moment.
Andy Gregory is quite influential today.
Oh, absolutely. Well, he's influential every week, isn't he? But he gives us direction. He tells the forwards where to go, and as long as we give him runners, things fall into place. I mean, he's just class, isn't he?
It's going to be hard to watch now, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It is hard to watch, but I mean, it's a 15-man squad, isn't it? And if they thought I was feeling the pinch a bit, so have a bit of a breather and then replace other guys. That's what it's all about.
Thanks, Chris. Well done.
Andy Farrell in that standoff position. You don't see many 17-stone standoffs. Quite a handful for the Salford defence, as so is Niamh Cowie. Phil Clark going for the line. This is Wigan. They can roar back almost immediately. Put the pressure back on the side. Mick Cassidy charging in there. Wigan don't allow a side to relax. Sean Edwards, the switch to Neil Cowie. Edwards again looking to get Dennis Betts towards that line, but the knock on. Mr. Smith. No problem there with that decision from Dennis Betts.
He runs across Sean Edwards here looking for Dennis Betts. Hits him on the chest, but he knocks it on there. They seem a little bit frustrated at the moment, Wigan. Sean Edwards and Dennis Betts are just having a few words. They've got to settle down and don't panic.
And handling errors 8 from Wigan, rather surprising for a team of their class, Steve.
Yes, it is, but as you were saying before, Salford's played very well and bustled Wigan into all their errors. They've made them make the mistakes.
Yes, the pressure of the Salford tackling, moving up very, very quickly, causing Wigan to make mistakes. But so much talent in this Wigan side that any one of them can suddenly win a game. And I think Salford, Andy Gregory there at number 7, he knows that, and that's why he's putting all these long kicks in right down to the corners. He wants to play Wigan deep in their own half. He knows the pace in that Wigan side. The two wings, Robinson of fire, always capable of striking. Edwards himself. And a strike from a fire is needed now. Edwards. Of fire. Gary Connolly making good ground from the acting half-back position. Salford a little lax there. Andy Platts to Cassidy. Edwards, Farrell. Farrell continually appearing out wide here on the right-hand side, looking to find a gap. Dennis Betts. Gary Jack once again being pushed right back into the corners there from Joe Lydon's kick.
You see the kick here, Joe, once again, the kick along the ground there and finds touch close to Salford's line there. He's starting to kick to Salford's left-hand side now because Gary Jack doesn't run the ball back so good running from left to right.
Been a lot of sensible kicking, Steve. Some long, good kicks to touch and one or two cheeky little grubber kicks.
There has been. Both teams have actually had good kicking games, and that counts a lot. The team that just keeps continually turning them around is usually the team that comes up winners.
And there we can see the amount of kicking that's been done, Steve.
Yeah, it's pretty even there, isn't it?
And Gregory still kicking and still pushing Salford forward and still causing Wigan to move out of defence, but no one moves better out of defence, as we saw with that first half try on this man Robinson. Neil Cowie. Cassidy spotting a weakness on the blind side, makes 5 metres. Sean Edwards back to Dennis Betts. David Young, number 8, the Salford skipper, putting in a good stint of tackling here as Edwards with the Skerritt tries to open out play. Skerritt. Edwards was contemplating a drop goal, but not this time. To Gary Connolly. Do you think it would have been worth a drop goal at this early stage, Steve? Yeah,
it could have done. I think you had the 1 point because it puts a little bit of pressure on the opposition there if you get 1 point in front there. The Wigan seem to be taking out the middle a lot. They're not getting to their outside men too often, and I think that's been their problem. Salford spread it a little bit wide, and Wigan's trying to take it straight up the middle.
The point about a drop goal too, Steve. Psychologically, it gives you a huge boost, doesn't it?
It does, because then the pressure is on the other team, as I was saying. Plus, it takes a little bit off your team there to know that you don't have to score to win the game.
Gregory. Joe Connor, former Widnes Tigers amateur player, 22 years old, prop forward. That's another good pass by Gregory, launching Bob Marsden. Almost intercepted by Connolly. But Mr. Smith's judging the first knock-on against Gary Connolly. It should be scrum down and Salford ball.
You notice here, Ray, on that replay, the kick before when Andrew Gregory kicked to Afire, he was up in the line and kicked behind him, had to chase back. This time, Afire dropped back and they run it.
That's good thinking, isn't it?
It is good thinking.
Andy Gregory attacked in half-back. And Dennis Betts knocking it on. So once again it'll be Salford head and ball, and Gregory to receive at the back of the scrum to Jason Critchley. Mr. Smith doing plenty of talking to these players, developed a good rapport with all 26. Gary Jack. There we can see him shouting, giving orders. Interesting at this stage with Salford and substitutions, if you've got a player coach on the field, who actually makes the substitutions then, Steve?
His actual coach is, I just forget, Howard, I'm not sure of his second name, is his actual coach. He'd be doing all that tactical stuff from the bench there.
Gregory to Blakely. Blakely causing confusion, I think, in his own ranks as much as the Wigan ranks, but it's Salford still moving forward, and Gregory once again putting the kick in. Finding Robinson again, as he did in that first half, which led to the try. And another good run by Robinson. But well covered by Martley.
Ray, as you're saying before, the assistant coach there is Howard Cartwright. I think he was with at Sheffield with Gary Jack.
Edwards. Wigan finding their way, blocked in midfield. Farrell. And the fifth tackle. Joe Lydon attempting a drop goal. I think it's well worth it. But Phil Ford picked it up in the in-goal area. So that's a tap on the 20-metre line. Well, as we were saying, Steve, it was well worth an attempt at this stage of the game.
Well, it was. He hasn't missed by too far, Joe Lydon. But Wigan seem to be being bustled out of this game. They're panicking and they're throwing some silly passes and they're pushing their passes when they're not on. They've just got to settle down a little bit more. But Salford's playing very well.
And this man isn't he, Bob Marsden?
Yeah, there's Howard Cartwright there on the bench. He's the coach that looks after all the tactical boys while Gary Jack's on the field.
Gregory. Paul Forber very well looked after there by Mick Cassidy. Steve Blakely pushing through with a little rubber kick. He no doubt keep it kicked, keep it going, and Mr. Smith, no hesitation, an obstruction, and I think he's going to give a sin bin. He is. Mr. Smith, no hesitation at all. Phil Ford consoling him, but it's 10 minutes in the sin bin for Joe Lydon. A technical offence, and Wigan now down to 12 men.
You see the kick through there from Steve Blakely, does it again. Gee, I don't know. I think he might have been a bit unlucky, Joe Lydon, there. I think he's taking a bit of a dive, Steve Blakely, but have a look at it again there. It's coming through. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say. I suppose the referee's in a better position than us.
Well, whether lucky or unlucky, Joe Lydon's got to sit there for 10 minutes.
Here it is, nice and slow now. You'll have a look. Gee, even on that, it looks like he even hardly touched him.
And here we see Blakely. He's going for the ball. Lydon's coming across there at number 1 now. He does sense that he can't touch him, so he puts his arms out of the way as if he doesn't want any contact with him. Well, that's a very difficult decision. Very harsh 10 minutes in the sin bin, I think, Steve.
I think the 10 minutes in the sin bin's very harsh. Probably hard for the referee to judge.
Oh, he's hit the upright! Picked up by Andy Platt. And more drama here at the Willows. And Joe Lydon, I think, relieved at that goal, hit the upright, and Andy Platt injured there in picking up that ball.
He doesn't look too good, Andy Platt. Here's the replay. He's got the penalty, Steve Blakely, and just hit the upright, and he's missed it. Relief for Wigan, spare for Salford.
And here we see the ball, it hits the upright, Andy Platt picks it up for the second time, Mark Lee comes in, and is there a knee there in Andy Platt's back? But it's fierce and passions are aroused here at the Willows. Still that same score. Wigan 12 and Salford 12, Andy Farrell driving away, and Andy Platt back in the action, but still Wigan with 12 men. Phil Clark. And Andy Platt choosing to kick, skipper. Gary Jack escaping the clutches of Platt, but not O'Fire and Edwards. Critchley coming in to help out from the wings. Wigan have not really put much use in their three-quarter line at the moment.
They haven't, as I saying, they're playing it up the middle there. They're quick men. Connolly and none of them hardly seen the ball.
And Peter Williams going for that corner, but a good tackle again by Gary Connolly. And a tremendous cover tackle there from Sean Edwards. But it's Salford, 12th in Division 1, hitting the champions hard, and no one hitting them harder than this man, Andy Gregory, having the game of his life there in midfield. Steve Blakely putting pressure on, and another tackle by Sean Edwards. The 5th tackle. Is it Salford's turn for a drop? Andy Gregory has a go, and he hits the upright. And Wigan scramble it away again. Twice the woodwork has saved Wigan. Robinson in possession. And there look some very tired forwards out there in the Wigan camp.
I think there is, because they've done a lot of work. And that's Steve Blakely's making some inroads into the to the Wigan defence now. He's having a wow against Steve Blakely.
And how often have we seen that? Wigan with more tackles made than the opposition. Not very often, Steve.
Not very often, Mark. That's when they're dangerous, Wigan, when they're in their own half. Salford have to adjust in defence now.
But Wigan, with such talent in their ranks, always capable of a try, and that's a high tackle on Phil Clark there by Andy Burgess.
Here's the replay now, Phil Clark. Andy Burgess comes in as around the neck, it was too high. Now it's Wigan's opportunity to get the 2 points.
Phil Clark. .33 metres out, almost in front of the posts, but of course not Wigan's usual kicker. pressure now on this teenager, Andrew Fowle. Suddenly, in the absence of Kiwi Cramabotica, handed the Kiwi's kicking duties. Is he up to it? Yes, he is! Excellent goal by Farrell, the hero of the hour at the moment. 65 minutes gone, Salford 12, Wigan 14. And for all Salford's efforts, it's this man Farrell who puts Wigan back in the lead. Superb shot, well struck, brings a smile to his face.
It was a big effort there from Andy Farrell. He's only a young lad, pressure kick, and he's put it straight between the posts.
Gary Connolly. Wigan using the forwards to gain ground, to cross that halfway line. Andy Platt and Andy Gregory moving in to tackle the forwards. Means a lot to the former Wigan halfback this game. Barry John Mather, 6'5", number 3 for Wigan. Sean Edwards. That's a sensible kick from Edwards. It puts the pressure on Gary Jack. Phil Clark gets there first, but Gary Jack intercepted it. And away comes the blonde-haired Aussie. Action all the way here at the Willows. And surely Andy Gregory will have to visit the blood bin very shortly, unless that blood's not stopped. Steve Blakely. Mark Lee using the blind side. Trying to pull one or two Wigan forwards, and Gregory's nose looks in a mess. He'll not want to go off. This fiery, combative half-back. To Gary Jack. And Wigan sorely tested in midfield here. Every time this man Gregory has the ball, and here he is again. To Williams. Dropped by Bob Marsden. And it'll be a handover on the sixth tackle.
They've changed their attack, Salford. They're attacking their right-hand side now, Wigan's left, where they made all their breaks in the first half, the opposite side, Paul Former's side. I don't know why they've changed.
Kelvin Scarretts. Martin Offiah coming in midfield now to Farrell. Wigan, of course, managed 8 minutes with 12 men, just 2 minutes to go before Joe Lydon emerges from that sin bin.
Here's the forward, well, here's the pass here. He's into the hole there, Colin, but Andy Platt couldn't control the pass and dropped the ball. Be a great effort, Ray, if Joe could come back on, and they've 2 points extra in front than when he went off.
And we see Salford hooker Lee squatting rather in the old style of hookers used to do there at that scrum. But I think these days Long John Silver could hook the ball the way the ball goes into the scrum. Bob Marsden driving in to David Young, and David Young powering in now. Certainly this Salford pack have not laid down, have they, Steve?
They haven't. They've just been kept going the whole game, and they're still going strong. I think they can sense they can win the game.
Gregory and Jack trying to surprise a gap here down this left. Salford. Gary Jack again. Likes to come onto the attack, sending Bob Marsden through. He's shouting to these forwards. Is Jack, Marsden and Young as Gregory puts that high ball in. It's tapped back to Burgess, but it's the sixth tackle. Salford's fans' hopes were raised there of another 6 tackles, but not according to the referee. And Robinson, always likely to dash away. 10 minutes remaining. Who's your money on, Steve?
I think Wigan will probably hold on. Jay Lydon's about to come back on. They're going to have 13 players again now. I think they might be a little bit too strong, Wigan.
And there is Lydon coming on at the top of our screen. The 10 minutes sin bin over. And skipper number 10 there, Andy Platt, will be heartened to have 13 men back on the field again. Robinson been doing a great job at the back while Lydon's been away. Oh, and a good job by Cassidy. Gets it to Betts. Just 2 points between the sides in Wigan's favour. Oh, Gary Jack made a mess, just gets it away. Salford fans' hearts in their mouth there.
It's a great little kick here from Shaun Edwards, putting pressure. You never know what way the ball's going to turn there. And Barry John Mather just couldn't get around Gary Jack to score the try.
Dangerous time here now for Salford. Wigan edging nearer to those posts, possibly if a try's not forthcoming, perhaps another drop goal attempt from Lydon or Edwards. Or this man Farrell. Edwards now to Clark. Clark has followed Shaun Edwards all afternoon, looking for the short pass to launch him through the gap. Only rarely has he found it. Andy Platt. 2 tackles remaining in this sequence. What will Edwards do? The switch to Joe Lydon. They've moved a little too far away, perhaps, from the post for an attempted drop. But Neil Cowie attempted try. But no try. Shaun Edwards was snapping around there, looking for support. But it was not to be. Held short. And Salford eager to bring the ball away. But penned on their own line. Minutes ticking away here at the Willows, and that's a good ball to Phil Ford. Makes valuable ground. 7 minutes left for Wigan to clinch this game with another try, or for Salford to snatch it out of their grasp. Stephen Blakely. Andy Gregory, one last effort required from him. Offside. Andrew Farrell, number 12 there, not really realising the implications of going for that ball. Instinctive, really.
You see the pass there. Salford trying to get the ball back there. I think it comes off Mike Cassidy, and Andy Farrell's in front of him. Relief for Salford.
And skipper David Young taking the ball from that tap. Mark Lee diving pass. Back to Bob Marsden. What a game this substitute's had since he came on. Salford's turn now. They've weathered the pressure. Andy Gregory. Well looked after by Phil Clark. Blakely looks for Burgess. Burgess sees no way through on that far side. 2 or 3 defenders. Wigan cover, moving in very, very quickly. Gregory again to Williams, and of course a drop goal, not much use to Salford at this stage, is it, Steve?
No, they need to score a try.
Andy Gregory, oh, that's a good pass, and Phil Ford! Oh, he just gets into touch there! Oh, what a pass from Andy Gregory! I thought it had split the Wigan cover, but not so.
There's a replay. It's good ball there. Yeah, well, the ball was knocked out, I think, by Jason Robinson, so it was good defence by Jason, but I think maybe it might be a wrong ruling there. I think maybe it should have been Salford's ball, scrum and Salford's speed.
Yeah, A chance there for Salford to go into the Regal Trophy final. It was the superb pass initially from Gregory, the continuation from Burkitt, and poor Phil Fold just couldn't get in at the corner.